Hey Wando, I'm Connor Griffin, your 2017-2018 Student Body President. Now today is a very exciting day because it is Wando Student Council Election Day. We'll be electing the class presidents and vice presidents along with the student body president and vice president for next school year. You should have been given a paper ballot in your advisement. On that paper ballot, you will see candidates running for student body president and student body vice president. Everybody votes for student body office. However, when it comes to class presidents and vice presidents, you can only vote for the people running for your class. So for example, if you are in a freshman advisement, you're going to be a sophomore next year, you are solely voting for sophomore class president and vice president. We're going to show the candidates for student body office and class office their videos momentarily. Please be sure to watch all of them fully and then properly mark on your ballot at the end of the videos who you want to fill each position. Your ballot will be taken from you, put in an envelope, and then that envelope has specific instructions as to where that should be designated, the location in Wando, and then that's pretty much the process. So please, without further ado, enjoy the class office and student body office candidates for 2018 and 2019.
Hi, my name is Lauren Funkhauser and I'm running for sophomore class president. You guys should really vote for me to make next year a lot of fun.
Hey, it's Pam Lord and I'm running for sophomore class vice president, so vote for me.
Hey Wando, I'm Carly Stoy and I'm running for junior class president.
And I'm Courtney Condon and I'm running for junior class vice president. We're going to work really hard together this year to make sure that your junior year rocks.
Vote for us!
I'm Taefyu and I'm running as your senior class president. I believe that all students are equally deserving of attention and funding from our Charleston County schools. Whether you are an athlete, a musician, an artist, or an academic, everyone is deserving of the best learning experience. I stand before you today to work with all of you in ways we can change Wando and create the best learning environment possible for all students. When I'm elected, Student Council will hold senior class meetings in the PAC every quarter in order to keep students informed about Student Council progress, which will help create increased efficiency with efforts to better the school. The Student Council will strive to help plan senior gifts and hold more community events, which will be open to all students when I'm elected. I would also like to address the topic of school lunches. I will work to bring back Chick-fil-A to Wando. If possible, this should be an easy reconnection because I currently work at the Chick-fil-A on Highway 17. I think we can agree that the service and attention to our vending machines can be improved. I will work with our provider to ensure improved quality of service or, if possible, find a new snack provider. Also, when I'm elected, there will be more organized fundraisers for the school, such as car washes and bake sales, in order to help Charleston County Schools provide more school supplies to all classrooms. Thank you for your attention. I think together we can make Wando a better place for every student and teacher alike. And remember, vote for Tate to make Wando great.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Andrew Wynn. I'm here to run for senior class president. As such, I'm largely supposed to represent our class of 2019 and be a leader. And I've had experience with this in NHS, Beta Club, AP Academy, and alongside Miles Carey this year as junior class president and vice president. As senior class president, I want to make sure our pep rallies are more interactive, more hyped up. I want our Spiel Week dress up days to be the best they can be. I want to explore the ideas of fundraising by selling class t-shirts to help sponsor our clubs and school events. Through the implementation of our Mind 101, I want to make sure you guys are more interconnected with the school environment, knowing about graduation planning, school events, community service hours that you might need. And thanks for your time, and please vote Andrew Wynn for the win.
Hey Wando, I'm Ryan Daniel and I'm running to be your senior class vice president. In this election, I'm presenting with two options: keep things the way they are, or to elect leaders such as me who are willing to go out and bring in new ideas. Wando is a very large school and faces a multitude of problems other schools don't have. Communication is the main problem, I think, and I really want to help link student council and the senior class together so we can cooperate. We have a very large student class, and I believe that we can help the community with our resources much more than we have in the past. I really want to make a dent in our community through our class because I believe that we're very special and we can do this. Well, I can't promise the best lunches or the parking lot traffic getting better. I promise that I'll do my best to make your voice heard. Vote for Ryan Daniel.
Hey, I'm Andrew Ty. I'd like to be your senior class vice president. I would like to make this the best year possible for you at Wando. Don't be shy, vote for Ty.
What's up, Wando? I'm Miles Carey. Remember to vote for me for senior class VP. And remember, Miles is your man.
Hey Wando, I'm Pete Jonas, and I'm running to be your next student body president. This past year I served as the treasurer on student council, I'm a member of Tribe Talk, I run track, and I'm the incoming executive director of Wandothon. This past year in student council, we made tons of progress regarding school spirit, specifically with hallway decorating and spirit weeks. I want to improve that as your student body president. My other major goal is to increase communication between student council and student body. To do this, I will create a committee of all the major organizations of Wando in which a president or leadership position will be invited to have communication with student council every month. To do this and to increase communications are my two biggest points and my two biggest improvements that I want to make next year as your student body president. So remember, it's Pete season. Vote for Pete.
Hi, my name is Caroline Patterson and I'm running to be your student body president. My goals for next year is to increase school spirit, student involvement, and all around just make Wando a better place. This year I serve as your parliamentarian chair. Parliamentarian chair is in charge of student council membership as well as freshman elections. I've been in student council since freshman year. Student council has taught me how to be a better leader, and I hope to implement those leadership skills that I've learned as your student body president. Student council has also taught me to work well with others, have better communication skills, and be more organized. I hope to do all of these things for you next year as your student body president. This year as a council, we have grown tremendously. We have hosted a variety of successful events that could not have been done without our general members and the hardworking leaders in our class. Before you vote, I want to remind you of three things. I want to increase school spirit and make our spirit weeks even better than this year. I want to increase student involvement and create better communication between clubs, and I want to make sure you guys know what's going on and are able to enjoy your experience here at Wando. Lastly, I want to remind you of one other thing. I want to continue to make this year great and set even bigger goals. So align with Caroline and vote for me for student body president.
Hey guys, my name is Leighton Spivey. I'm running to be your student body vice president. I'm so excited to have served as your sophomore class vice president this year and would be honored to represent the entire school next year as your vice president. So do a good deed, vote for me as your VP. Vote Leighton.
What's up, Wando? I'm Troy Dassing.
And I'm Connor Griffin.
And welcome to this week's episode of Tribe Talk.
This week we take a look at the new Shipyard Park,
the Sea Turtle Hospital, the aquarium,
self-driving cars.
A popular tourist attraction in the Charleston area is the South Carolina Aquarium, bringing creatures from all over the world to be healed and observed.
A new addition to this healing process is the Sea Turtle Hospital, which nurtures and assists wounded and sick turtles.
Carson Peace has the story.
Last year, the South Carolina Aquarium opened the Sea Turtle Care Center. Throughout this past year, many endangered turtles have been cared for with the help of the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Staff and owners explain the progress made over the year rescuing, rehabilitating, and releasing sea turtles.
So we're very excited. We're close to the 1-year anniversary of the Zucker family sea turtle recovery, which is wonderful. So it opened back in May of 2017. Since then, we've had dozens of turtles go through that space, undergo the rehabilitation, and a majority of them have been released already. So it's wonderful. We're currently working with 5 patients in our recovery hospital, which is great. And that gives all guests of the aquarium an ability to come in and see these turtles, have those personal connections, and learn about the work that we're doing to help rehabilitate and release sea turtles. We've helped dozens of turtles, so we have some of them that are located down in our basement, which is the Sea Turtle Hospital. Usually that's where we keep more of our critical care patients. But once they're stabilized, usually off of antibiotics, then we move them up into recovery. And that's because these tanks are larger, they're deeper. They give turtles more room to be able to swim around, and that really allows them to have that recovery process and get them towards the leg end of their release criteria, which is great. With the addition of this new space, we do have updated medical facilities, so that has an operation room, so the McNair Center Surgical Suite. We have our own CT scan machine, which is one of only 7 in the country that's of an equine size. So we have the ability to do CT scans on every turtle that comes in if we need to, and that really helps further our diagnostics and be able to figure out exactly what's wrong with that turtle. We have a new upgraded medical facility as well, which is where we do all the triage of those new patients that are admitted. So we have all of that, some of that is on display, so guests can come and actually see operations as they're happening, which is phenomenal. And then just for our perspective, from that animal care perspective, having additional tank space allows us to almost double our capacity. So all turtles that are stranding in South Carolina, we're able to triage them and treat them in hopes of releasing them back out into the wild.
This has been Carson Pease reporting for Tribe Talk.
Here at Wando, great teachers are abundant, but there is one teacher that goes above and beyond all expectations.
When he was at JL Mann, he was the yearbook and the newspaper advisor, and they had wonderful products. They did a super job. So when Miss Fox, who was the legend advisor and was a great advisor herself, decided that she wanted to step down, the first person I thought of was Philip Caston.
He really sets the standard and the bar high for journalists ethically, and also just as far as like quality control. He really pushes us to go out and do those interviews ourselves and to make them the best that we can be, so our publications are just as top-notch as any other professional publication. He really knows how to treat us as professional journalists and gives us that same respect that those professionals deserve.
As editors-in-chief, we've really seen Caston kind of take a step back a little bit. He lets us make a lot of the executive decisions, and he really stresses a student-run publication, which is really important because to be able to express ourselves as students and make our voices be heard, he really promotes that. So that's something that is really important.
Mr. Caston was recently awarded the Elizabeth B. Dickey Distinguished Service Award at SIPA for his dedication to Student Press Association's journalism and his students.
Well, with the SIPA Distinguished Advisor, that means that you're recognized in the region, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, all the way over to Texas, and for what you've done for the journalism community of students. And so I think it's a very prestigious award. It just shows that your fellow teachers and your fellow board members recognize that you have given back to the community and that you've done something to make a difference in other people's lives. I know he's had a major influence on my life and on my journalism teaching experience, as well as different broadcast teachers who have been with Tribe Talk.
He's just been a really big role model in my life, and it's kind of sad that our time is coming to an end with him, and it's just been a really good run, and we've really appreciated his mentorship and his guidance throughout this whole journey.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really cheesy to say, but to say that he's impacted either of our lives is such an understatement. I mean, Wando would not have been the same without him being here, and obviously our lives wouldn't be the same without joining Yearbook and having him believe in us since we were little freshmen and sophomores.
We love him a lot.
This has been Sydney Register reporting for Tribe Talk.
As education continues to advance, the way students learn changes as well.
With these changes, personalized learning is something that Wando has become quite familiar with.
Davida Patel takes a look at the program.
Personalized learning, also known by its newer name 21st Century Learning, has been implemented in many core classes here at Wando. With its increasing popularity, many students want to learn more about this program and how it will benefit them. Wando staff and students explain more about this form of education.
Personalized learning is something that helps students in a classroom where they can't keep up to pace with everyone else, but teachers have to come up with an individual plan for it to work for everyone.
If personalized learning is used in the correct manner, then teacher involvement is critical. It's not a hands-off approach by any means.
I believe that personalized learning is definitely something where the teacher can be attentive at all times to a group of students who have shown that they've struggled in the past, because I feel like in a normal classroom people have done well in the past, but some people don't, and these personalized learning classrooms can definitely benefit for them as long as the teacher is there to keep everyone up to pace.
One thing I've seen of a pro is it gives students choice in their education. It gives them a voice in what they want to do, and it looks different from classroom to classroom. As much as it is for the kids, it's for the teachers too, so it kind of helps the teachers out what do they do best? Do they do data analysis best? Do they do reflection best? And it kind of expands on that.
It gives you a chance to explore on your own. You can pace yourself on your own, and it definitely gives you more time in the end to study if you are ahead. But takeaways from it that aren't so great would be if you don't have the commitment, you're going to fall behind. Sometimes you miss certain parts of the subject, and it would be harder to explore on your own if you get stuck at one point.
At this time, students can't choose to be in a personalized learning class or not be in a personalized learning class. But I think personalized learning is really designed to benefit all students. That's the push for it, is that it's not just necessarily good for one particular group of students who learn better in a specific environment.
I'm really excited about the future of where 21st century learning is going. We're going to do a lot of work this summer and kind of trying to develop more and better professional development for our teachers, and I think our students are really going to benefit from what's going to happen from it.
This has been Davina Patel reporting for Tribe Talk.
Due to the increase of popularity with comic books and superhero movies, places like Captain's Comics and movie theaters have experienced a large amount of sales within the past year.
So Captain's Comics has been around for quite a while, actually. It started off as Captain Lou's comic store back in the 90s. As Lou was ready to retire, I was looking to get into the comic book field. So he put the store up for sale, I bought it, and then we went ahead and rebranded as Captain's Comics and Toys.
I've been to Captain's Comics once with a friend, and it was really cool how they had like the different things like single issues and very up-to-date comics. And though I love going to Barnes & Noble, which is a little bit more convenient for me, they more have volumes.
So superhero movies have definitely become a big thing over the past few years. As superhero movies get comic book characters into the culture, you get more and more people who are interested in the characters. Sometimes that means people come in and check out the books and the stories that they're based on. Other times it means that people can get what they need from just the movie. So sometimes it really helps, especially with characters that people are less familiar with. Other times it doesn't really matter too much because people feel like they already know Spider-Man.
And I have seen some of my friends that have been they've enjoyed the movie so much that they do want to go check out the comics.
This has been Avery Cottingham reporting for Tribe Talk.
With cars becoming more and more autonomous by the day, the need for a driver is becoming less and less.
Finn Carlin takes a look at the new age of self-driving cars.
The steering wheel has been the centerpiece of the car since it was invented, but what happens when you remove the driver from controlling it? Companies such as Uber and Tesla have tested this theory with self-driving cars, which has sparked controversy as to whether they are brilliant or dangerous technology.
The promise of self-driving cars is that you'll be able to get into the car and verbally tell it where you want to go, and it will take you all the way from point A to point B without any intervention on your part.
They essentially want almost what's today a train system, but a much more modern version of that on a highway.
Self-driving cars in their current state right now, they can't be fully autonomous because we're not ready for that with our current roads, and frankly, we just have too much human error.
Basically, there's just sensors all over it that detect what lane you're in, whether or not there's a car beside you, behind you, in front of you. And the way it works is it controls the acceleration and the deceleration of the car.
The most complicated thing about designing a self-driving car is dealing with humans on the road because they do unexpected, stupid things.
We see a lot of controversy right now about the death in Arizona, but that was, for the most part, I'm not going to say it's entirely caused by the driver because obviously there's no way of knowing, but I do think that there's a little bit too much bad press than there should be, given if you actually look at the camera results. There is a driver there because the technology is still new, because it's still improving.
Any computer that you use, no matter how advanced it is, no matter how high tech there is, there's always going to be bugs in a program. There's always going to be problems with it that's going to require a human to step in.
But we've known for a long time that computers can react faster than people. It's the whole point we use computers.
A self-driving car that works would be a lot safer.
The point that we're at now with self-driving technology, I don't think it's at all ready to be used on the road.
At the moment, I would say I would be more worried to see a self-driving car on the road than a human driver.
I think young people are pretty flexible about accepting new things. People will get used to it just like they've gotten used to smartphones and iPads and all that.
If not now, if not this year, if not this decade, then in just a few more. The technology is maybe not ready for consumer use yet, but it's definitely there.
This has been Finn Carlin reporting for Tribe Talk.
Have you ever wondered what a Student Concern Specialist is and what they do? Well, today we're getting a closer look at what Student Concern Specialists are at Wando High School.
A Student Concern Specialist is kind of a staff member who is not quite an administrator, not quite a counselor, and not quite a teacher. They are kind of a combination of all three. They're here to forge relationships with students that maybe don't have another trusted adult that they could go to. They're kind of the eyes and ears of Wando. Their job entails walking the campus at different locations throughout the day, keeping an eye on safety and security issues, as well as making sure that our students are where they're supposed to be, being available for students if they have any concerns that they want to bring to the attention of that trusted adult. And then they have various responsibilities throughout the day. They are probably the one position in the school that has more responsibilities built into their job description than any other staff member.
Well, student concern specialists and some of our job description, we keep the students here at Wando safe. We provide interaction with them to make sure that they make good decisions. We also work closely with the admin team and the guidance counselors to make sure that each student is very well taken care of here at Wando. Safety precautions that we take with dealing with troubled students are, we try to make them feel safe and just remind them that, we're here in confidentiality with making sure that their information doesn't go outside of the meeting space.
I think when you deal with a population our size and you deal with the diversity of our students and everything, all the pressures that you guys have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, there's a lot of concerns, and I don't think maybe one outweighs the other.
Find a student concern specialist who you have a good relationship with. Let them know what's going on, and I'm sure that they'll help you be the best young person you can be here at Wando and keep you safe.
This has been Ellie Deputy reporting for Tribe Talk.
Along with the Highway 41 bridge, many buildings in the Shipyard area were taken down in demolition to make way for the all-new Shipyard Park.
Grace McKellar has a story on this brand new area in our community.
Shipyard Park, located off of Highway 41 on the Wando River, is a state-of-the-art baseball facility. Offering great food, great views, and of course, great baseball, this one-of-a-kind facility is a great asset to the Charleston community.
My company has been around for 33 years, and this is the largest project that we've ever been a part of. And for me personally, the most exciting and the most fulfilling project that I've ever been a part of. I think this park sets itself apart from other baseball parks, mostly by its location. I feel like there are beautiful state-of-the-art baseball facilities all across the United States, but I'm not aware of any of them that sit on such a pristine and beautiful piece of property that's surrounded by water.
We have two large high school, college regulation fields, two more fields in the back that they can play softball or Little League. They're both, regulation Little League. And we have a restroom facility that is nothing but restrooms, men's and ladies' restrooms. We have a concession building that is going to eventually have a restaurant on the second floor and has a full-service kitchen on the first floor.
Well, we had, every developer in town and within a couple thousand miles was wanting to buy the place to do marina and condominiums and dry stack storage and everything. And we just decided that that's not what life's about. And so we decided to do something that affected kids long after we were dead and gone. And it ended up being a baseball park right here on the Wando River.
You can also use that building for other things like weddings and concerts and events and shows, bridal shows and things like that. So this really is a multi-purpose facility.
This has been Grace McKellar reporting for Tribe Talk.
Every high school student has the desire to attend their dream college, but what opportunities does this present for Wando's population? For our exceptional students, maybe the upcoming college fair that is being organized for them by Wando guidance counselors, parents, and even some local college officials.
So we've been collaborating with the special education department. We just as a school counseling department want to be involved in that and helping our students know that there are these opportunities out there for them and make sure that they get the same college fairs and experiences that our other students do.
I am helping Claire Gatlin organize this event because it's very important
not only for my son Ryan and his peer group at Wando High School, but for Wando High School as a whole to expand their ability to help kids beyond high school.
We want to just learn more. We want the students to be able to learn more about programs in our state, and also our counselors, teachers, and everyone in our community to learn more about the programs offered.
I have this great program for young adults with intellectual disabilities, and I really am hoping that we can share our information with more families and students in South Carolina, because this is a great opportunity for young adults, and we are one of 5 programs in South Carolina, so we do our best to support each other.
There's so many programs out there at different colleges right here in the state of South Carolina and in the states around it that offer great programs for college years. And I just think it's important that all of the parents here at Wando and the kids that go to Wando understand what they can expect after high school.
I think that this is really important so that our students know they don't have just one option after high school, that they have to go right to work with Voc Rehab. There are more programs out there for them. I think we do a great job here at our school, but we also can always do better in getting our special ed students involved.
There have been so many different things that have become available to all of those students. These kids are really as typical as the other high schoolers at Wando. Even though they might not think the same way, they still love life and want to be as normal as possible. So this just takes that type of behavior beyond high school for them.
This has been Finn Carlin reporting for Tribe Talk.
Hi, I'm Angie Meyer. I'm your student teacher for drama this semester. I'm originally from Cologne, Germany. I think of myself as a person who has taken or is taking a lot of detours, but it seems to that eventually I always end up at the place that I think I'm supposed to be, which is right now here in Charleston. I first started acting within the season of Carnival, which is a big thing where I come from. It's basically a 3-month celebration of political satire and song and dance and just everything being upside down basically. So it's something where people act out comedic bits or sketches or make jokes. And so that's when I started acting, because I was in a child version of that every year. When I was 9 or 10, I started taking singing lessons in jazz and classical singing, and I also joined a young theater ensemble, and I did that for over 10 years. And I think the theater ensemble was really important to me in my life because that really made me understand the joy of reading, and not only reading, but thinking about things more in the philosophical sense. So I feel like the city in Germany where I'm from is really between old traditions and modern lifestyle. It's old because, I mean, it's just a city with a very long history. You can still see parts of the Roman Empire, things like that. But it's also modern. You have so many new buildings, and which is partly because the city got destroyed during Second World War a lot, so it was heavily bombed, which, you know, unfortunately was necessary because the country had to be freed from certain individuals and fascist ideologies. One of the big things that I learned being here is that if you can travel, do it and see the world, because I feel like it's important to see things with your own eyes.
Wando High School's Warrior Inc. internship is growing and wants you to join their program. Warrior Inc. has everything to prepare you for a career in computer graphics, from industry-leading computer programs like Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator to advanced equipment able to produce a wide range of products. Warrior Inc. even accepts custom orders from anyone wanting professionally made products for a team or club. With skills taught from experienced teachers and interns and lots of hands-on experience, Warrior Ink equips you with everything you need to produce professional products. Prior enrollment to any CTE course is suggested, but not required to join Warrior Ink. Check Warrior Ink's website for more information and contact info, or visit 140 in the CAS building for more information.
It all starts with a vision. You never really know what it will become. Visions become actions. These actions create echoes that resonate through the halls, the community, and the world around us. These echoes make a yearbook like no other. We are legendary, and now we have a book to prove it.
My favorite teacher is Coach Black because she actually cares about her students, and she's really interested in making a personal relationship with all of her students. Well, it's really fun. It's a really fun class. I guess it's just history. I enjoy history, and she's a really cool teacher. So it just makes the entire class that much better.
My favorite teacher is Frau Mignon. She's the German teacher here at Wando. She's an excellent teacher, and she just really helped me learn so much here at Wando, not just about school, but also about life and how to take care of yourself and what really matters. She just really focuses on actually being able to speak German and being able to have functionality with your language instead of just doing worksheets over and over again.
My favorite teacher is Madame Mills. She was my French teacher for 2 and 3. She's just a fun teacher. It's a real easygoing class. I've had her for a while, so I love her. I had all my friends in there. The workload was easy. It was really laid back. It was just generally a lot of fun. I appreciate how nice Madame Mills was. She was really kind. You know, she was nice about homework and everything.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Martin in the Freshman Academy because he went out of his way to invite me to the Poetry Out Loud competition that I got the pleasure to compete in, and he's just all in all a great mentor. You know, he always made everything really engaging and fun. Every lesson had a project that would sort of cater to each individual student. You could be as creative as you wanted to, and I really appreciated that.
Warrior Spotlight takes a look at some of the most talented students at Wando.
This week we take a look at one of Tribe Talk's very own.
Scene 1H, take 2. So I always loved cameras and camcorders, but I joined Tribe Talk my sophomore year, but I kind of used it as my place in high school. And I used the camera as this tool to tell other people's stories, and that meant a lot to me. So when I was out on the job doing a piece and someone came up to me and asked me, hey, do you make videos? I was like, yeah, I make videos. And that was my first client. So my biggest client is Brian from BD Vibes. They're a local hat and apparel company, and what BD Vibes stands for is spreading mental health awareness and beating depression through positive vibes.
Blake took the initiative of going out on his own and taking pictures of the hats and the various gear, and then posting them, tagging BD Vibes, and eventually we just connected. And as soon as I got to meet him in person, I just knew that this was a guy who had ambition, and he was super mature, and he had a passion for the camera.
Next year, I'm going to film school, and I credit a lot of that to Rewind Productions and me starting this company. I love films, I love storytelling, I love filmmaking, and I used Rewind Productions as this platform to create, and it allowed me to have this job where I get paid, and I get paid to do exactly what I want to do, and that's not even work to me. So it's crazy that junior, senior year, I already have my dream job.
Limit with Blake. Again, I think there's a lot of individuals that want to be a photographer and a lot that aspire to be a videographer, but what I know about life is it boils down to how much effort you put into something. One thing that Blake does is he puts in the effort. He's relentless in his pursuit, He just always strives to get better.
To anyone who has any passion or hobby that they want to follow, do it. I mean, you don't have to have all this equipment. There's no excuse that you can't do it. I started off on an iPhone, and everything I learned was from experience in YouTube tutorials. So go out there and do it.
This has been Alex Bavosa reporting.
Wando. Here, excellence is standard. For us, sports are more than just a hobby. They are our passion and our purpose. We are driven by the success of those before us. Because here, championships are expected, and winning is in our blood. We are Wando, and we are warriors.
Hey Wando, I'm Ellie Grace Goodwin.
And I'm Alex Bavosa.
And welcome to this edition of Sports Talk.
I'd like to start off this segment by congratulating the Wando soccer team for being #1 in the nation and recently setting the mark for the most consecutive wins in high school soccer history.
And also a shout out to the girls soccer team as they approach playoffs. Here are some highlights from their game against Stratford from earlier this season. Now we switch our focus over to the Diamond, where Wando Baseball has had an exceptional season.
We wish them the best of luck heading into the postseason, and here are some highlights from their recent tournament.
You're listening to Redneck.
And good luck to the rest of the spring sports as they take on their playoffs.
And to conclude this segment, we would like to give a special thank you to our advisor, Ms. Hughes, for everything she's done for us here in Sports Talk.
Thanks for watching, Wando. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at SportsTalkWHS. This has been Alex Bavosa
And Ellie Grace Goodwin,
reporting for Sports Talk.
That's it for this week, Wando. Be sure to follow us on our social media at Tribe Talk WHS on Instagram and Snapchat.
And be sure to stay tuned for election videos and Tribe Talk Presents.
This has been Troy Dassling,
Connor Griffin,
signing off.